Hi guys, thanks for tuning in today. I'm going to talk about my number one stress reduction hack, and that is simply to do one thing at a time. Sounds really simple, but it's actually harder than you'd believe. So look at your daily tasks. When you get up in the morning and you make your coffee, if you're anything like me, you've probably got the TV on and you used to listen to Piers Morgan talk his nonsense while you would check your updates on your phone, and already your attention's beginning to feel somewhat scattered, and then maybe you've got your significant other in the background giving you a few instructions. You're not listening to them properly, so they're repeating themselves. You're not replying to the person that's actually messaged you because you're checking 5 different social media sites, and your stress levels just kind of start doing this. This is me personally anyway. So what we do is we just do one thing at a time. So you get up in the morning, you check your phone. Is there anything that I need to respond to immediately? Email, text, do I need to reply? What I would do is put off replying, because it's sometimes uncomfortable to say, oh, I can't fit you in today to somebody or whatever. Now just send them a message straight away, hopefully, unless I missed a message, with a list of times that I can do. And then that's kind of done. You can put your phone down and move on with it. So come down, make your coffee, whatever, make breakfast, and get the day started. Also, at work, I find if I'm doing like an office day, like an admin day, which is not very often, most of my work is just face to face. But as soon as I start checking my phone, I get into a state of, I keep checking it, and it's a half open loop in my head. So I'm trying to get on with a piece of work, but I keep thinking, oh, has that person replied yet? Or is something going on social media that I need to be updated on, or a news site or whatever? And then once your attention is scattered, I just feel like stress levels just subconsciously start to rise, and you're not really paying attention to anything. And how many times, or this has happened to me a lot, has your other half, or your better half perhaps, as we probably should be saying, is trying to talk to you, and because your attention's so scattered, because you're checking your phone, it might not be your phone, it might be something else, but like you're not giving them your full attention. This happens a lot with children as well, and so they start to get kind of annoyed because you're not giving them proper replies and you're not staying present in the interaction, and then that actually adds to your stress. And then maybe you're talking to someone and you're not giving them your fullest attention either. Now, you can call this mindfulness, or you can call it whatever you want, but it's simply the act of doing one thing at a time to reduce stress levels. So if you're doing the washing up, just do the washing up. Focus on your body, how your body feels, the water hitting your hands, and just doing generally a really good job of doing the washing up. I think dads have been onto this for years. I always used to look at men doing DIY and be like, when I'm older, I'm just going to pay somebody to do all that stuff. But I realise now, when you've got the music playing and you get into something gentle and it absorbs your focus and attention, you kind of feel your heart rate falling and your breathing settles, and you just feel nice and relaxed. And I think you can do that with any household task, but I think the reason we find having a to-do list stressful rather than kind of relaxing is because we've got so many of these tasks mentally stacked on top of each other, and I think phones and social media is a big part of that. So I don't know, it's hard for me to manage some days. Once I start, if I check my phone early, like the day's kind of lost. I need to start the day with a big break from my phone, and then it doesn't kind of take hold of me, and then I can just, if I go out for a couple of hours, I'll just leave it at home, much to the annoyance of people trying to get hold of me. But it's much better for my mental health, my sanity, stress levels, productivity, to just kind of leave that to one side for the time being, and then come back to it later. So that's my tip, is just do one thing at a time, and you'll find that you start to enjoy tasks more because it's actually a chance for you to relax. So say your other half asked you to take the bins out. Normally that will be met with resistance of like, oh, why don't you do it? I'm so busy. And you're probably not. I think we're just obsessed with busyness as a culture. But instead think, oh, I'm going to take my time over this job. And this works in the workplace as well. You're not going to get in trouble while you're doing that job, right? No one's going to tell you off because you're doing the thing that somebody has asked you to do. So take your time. and just relax and enjoy it. Let go of that tension around, why do I have to do this? I need to get on to something more important. And isn't it interesting how that more important thing never comes? Do you ever feel that? You scroll social media, the thing that you're actually looking for, it never comes. And that job that you're thinking, oh, I need to do this. Like when I'm playing with my son, I always think, oh, I need to do adult work. Why am I playing? I'm bouncing around on a trampoline, or I'm climbing up climb frames. I should be doing adult things. And actually, the adult things never come. And is there anything more important than playing with your child? If that's the thing that you're doing at that time, give it your fullest attention. It's got to improve the future outcomes, hasn't it? If you're focused on what you're doing as much as you can, so you're focused on the next step in front of you, that's going to make the next step in front of you as good and efficient as possible, which is going to make the next step as good and efficient as possible, and that adds up to your future. But I think sometimes we just jump to the future and become totally distracted from the actual process that's building that future. And it's a great way to hide in the workplace as well. Like I used to, my boss would say, oh Rob, can you clean the spin bikes? And after a while, I would come to love cleaning the spin bikes, because it was 2 hours. I could go in the studio and just polish up these bikes, and like they're metal, so they come up quite nice when you kind of spraying them with this liquid and polishing them. And I know no one's going to come bother me for 2 hours of my work day. Just settles everything. And then you've got one job ticked off. I find when you mindfully get one job ticked off, you're kind of rolling then, and you feel good about what you're doing, and you want to do more. So it's really hard, and obviously if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. But it's taking that conscious decision to, no, I'm going to pull my attention away from these things that don't necessarily serve me, serve where I want to go, and I'm going to take my attention back to the current step. Something else I want to touch on next time is time. But when you start doing this, you'll feel like you've got a lot more time. It's really weird. If you like put your phone down in the evening for a couple of hours, the evening, instead of feeling really short, it feels like it goes on forever. And you're almost like, my God, I want to go to bed because I'm almost bored. And I know many of us don't feel boredom anymore, but it's actually quite a luxury sort of emotional mind state to feel. The absence of having anything to do is quite nice, and it's just a nice state to experience. So I'll get onto time, I think, in a future video, but that's my tip for today. Do one thing at a time, relax, immerse yourself in it. You'll get it done quicker, you'll get it done better, and with less stress. So I hope that helps, guys. If you like it, give us a like, share, subscribe, all the stuff. And if you want, whatever you want me to make a video on, just comment, because I'm happy to. Whenever I get some time, I'll knock it out, because I want to make things that people want to watch, but I just make ideas based off of what pops into my head when I'm sort of driving around or walking around. So if you have any ideas, pop them below. Thanks very much, guys. Peace and love, and I'll see you next week.